Welcome class 6 to another class of chemistry, and already you have had one video where you have been given the introduction, what you learn in chemistry. Now today we start, how do we learn chemistry? You know, there is a proverb. It is said that chemistry is born in test tube. It is such a subject which is only learned through observation, experimentation, and through the inference. So how all the laws, all the theories that we are learning in chemistry, or you will learn rather in further classes, it's not only done in one day. Lots of steps are there before any theory or any law is derived. What happens? First, suppose a scientist thinks about any problem or thinks about any idea. So what does he do first? First, what is done? First, all the information regarding that idea is collected, like why it's happening, how it's happening, when it's happening. So when all the information are collected, then the person will start thinking about how to study further about these information. So he plans out a hypothesis. That is how to do the work. So he thinks and does the experiment. Once the experiment is done, then from the experiment, he'll observe something, and from the observation, he will infer something, he will understand something. And when he infers something or something is observed, it's not made into theory in one day. It's sent to all the scientists of the world. They also perform the experiment, and when the results are all same and is universally accepted by all the scientists, then a law or theory is made, which we are studying nowadays in the books. So you can see what is first done. First is your idea, information collected, about this idea. From the information, all the information collected together, they do the experiment. From experiment, they observe something which will lead to the inference of something that they have thought about. This, once it has to be universally accepted by all the scientists. Universally accepted. Then the theory or the law is made. So it's for us, it's so easy. We are learning it from the book. But behind everything, all the theories that we are learning, this is the thing done by the scientists. So this is, in general, we call it hypothesis. That means think about the idea, collect information about the idea, do it practically, gather the inference, after observing it, gather the inference. Then when it is universally all have to accept, then only the theory or law is made. Right? So this is how we study chemistry. Now, so here what is the main point here? Experiment. That means chemistry is a subject which is based on experimentation and observation. Now, to do the experiment, obviously we need certain apparatus. So today's topic for us will be we will study, I'll show you, when you come back to school, I'll take you to the lab and show you all these apparatus. But just for your information, few common apparatus that we use regularly for learning chemistry or doing the practical work, I'll draw it and show it to you. So today's topic, first topic is, I'll write in short, lab apparatus used in learning chemistry. The most common and the most simple, which is for every experiment which is very necessary, is test tube. Have you heard the name? Just see how does it look like. This is a test tube. It should be same like this. This is a test tube. Second, this is called beaker, because the pouring point has got like a beak. It looks like a beak here, that's why it's called beaker. Third apparatus we use generally, conical flask. From the shape only you can make out, it's like a cone, that's why it's called a conical flask. Next one, this is called flask. This one is called round bottom flask because lower part you can see is round, and this is called flat bottom flask because the base is flat. Next one, this is very important for a heating process. This is called tripod stand. This is when, suppose you want to heat up something, this is a stand on which the apparatus is kept. But it is not used as it is, there is something kept over there. What is that something? Number 6. This is called wire gauge. This is iron, thin net-like structure, but the center part is made out of asbestos. So when you have to heat up anything on the tripod stand, they put this wire gauge. And on top of that, they keep the flask, conical flask or round bottom flask for the uniform heating. Next one you have this is test tube holder. Obviously, if you're heating something, you have got one liquid here. You want to heat it. You can't hold it like this, so you need the test tube holder. It's got a hook here. You can loosen it, put the test tube here, and then you can tighten it up so that it will remain straight. Next, another very important apparatus. You can, all of you can say what it is, isn't it? This is measuring cylinder. Any liquid you want to measure, suppose you are asked to heat up 100 milliliter, 1 liter of water. So through this measuring cylinder, you can measure the water or whatever the liquid you want to measure, and you can heat it up. Next, I'll rub this part. Very important is number 9, spirit lamp. Obviously, some of the labs, they have the gas connection, but if you do not have gas connection to heat up something, we use the spirit lamp. Then again we have got another apparatus. This is called evaporating dish. Evaporating dish. This is made out of porcelain, because you have, suppose you have got sugar solution and you have to separate sugar from that water. You have to evaporate it, and for that it has to be heated for longer time. So what happens, this is made out of porcelain, it can withstand very high temperature. So especially this is evaporating dish. It is not made out of ordinary glass, but it is made out of the porcelain. Then this is basically all that you have got that we need regularly to do the experiment. Clear? So you can draw these diagrams and then you can learn the names. When you come, we'll do. Now I'll draw one diagram and I'll give you a little work to do at home so that you can be occupied at the same time. You can have fun and learning both together. Now look at this diagram that I'm drawing. This is your work. Look carefully. Are you observing what I'm drawing here? Now this is the diagram I've drawn for you. What you have to do, just look at this diagram and label. Can you just label how many apparatus are drawn here? You are heating up 100 milliliter of water, and what are the apparatus for this have been used in this experimental setup? You draw the diagram and you write it. Clear? Very simple, nothing much here. So for today, we learn only about this lab apparatus. Next in the next class.